Is Revolut Metal actually worth it? Because on paper it looks pretty decent, a single subscription that blends banking, travel and lifestyle perks for about 15 quid a month. And in terms of raw value, it might just be the best paid account on the planet. But there's a problem. When you look closer at where the value really comes from, the plan starts to lose its shine. The travel insurance is hardly compelling, and we'll talk about why shortly. The ATM perks and other banking benefits just aren't that impressive. And when you find out that most of the value comes from third-party subscriptions, you're left with a bigger question. Is Metal a financial upgrade or just another subscription trap? But first, Jan, good to see you, buddy. I want to know, because I know that you've had Revolut Metal for a while and you used it as your main banking product. So what got you in the first place to sign up?
Yeah, so Johnny, it's a good question. Back when I first signed up, I think it was about 3 years ago, the conditions were slightly different. So Metal used to offer a cashback that I took full advantage on. I think back then it was about 1% per euro that you spend abroad and 0.1% for €1 that you spend within the European Union. Luckily, I was traveling quite a bit, so I took full advantage of that percent of cashback that I was gonna get, and that made the plan worth it for me.
Of course, the cashback is no longer available, and Revolut have introduced Rev Points. We've talked about that quite a lot. And with the Revolut Metal plan, you do get more Rev Points. I don't think they're going to be as lucrative as 1% cashback though, buddy. That is pretty nice.
Yeah, it really depends on how you redeem them. So the Rev Points, I think the Rev Point ratio that you're getting is 1 Rev Point per every €2 or pounds that you spend. And it doesn't matter whether you spend them within your country of residence or abroad.
Rev Points are definitely one of the core banking, I guess, benefits, if we want to call them banking spending, but it kind of goes under the kind of umbrella of personal finance. We have some other benefits though that you get with Metal. So ATM withdrawals is one of their kind of flagship benefits here, and you get £800 or €800 of fee-free ATM withdrawals per month. That could be quite nice for someone who's frequently traveling, perhaps to areas in the world that still are a little bit more cash dependent than others, although there aren't that many of those left nowadays. There are also some benefits like international transfers. Those get a 40% discount. Now that's a discount on Revolut's typical fees. Does that make international transactions with Revolut any more competitive than, let's say, Remitly, Wise, TransferGo, whoever? I don't know, Jan. I'm not sure. We've discussed Revolut's exchange rates previously. They do have a slight markup. They aren't the mid-market rate, but with this 40% discount, you are getting a little bit closer to that, and they will certainly be more competitive. There's also fee-free currency exchange. I don't know, Jan. In 2025, that doesn't really feel like a major benefit, if I'm being honest. As someone from the UK, at least, there are plenty of fee-free cards that just use like MasterCard's exchange rates. You don't pay fees on spending abroad, especially not at the weekend, right? Revolut are still charging customers a fee for exchanging on the weekend. Not with Metal. That is one of the other benefits. But even that, Jan, that doesn't even feel that compelling to me.
No, not really, Johnny. As you mentioned, there are many other alternatives on the market, some of them even free, where you don't have to pay a monthly fee. And then one thing to consider as well, if Revolut says it's a fee-free currency exchange, they still use their own exchange rate. So there's a markup included in that as well. It's not free, it's just that they don't charge an additional fee. It's not really that attractive. And to be honest, looking at these core financial benefits, well, one thing that you forgot to mention, you're also getting a slightly increased interest rate in case you decide to save money through Revolut. It's 4% in the UK, varies in the European Union. It's not that compelling, to be honest. Like reading that, I would probably assume it's a mid-tier bank account if I wouldn't know better.
Definitely not a premium Metal account.
Not a premium product. Looking at the core benefits, core financial benefits alone, I would not conclude it's a premium bank account.
Depending on when you're watching this video or listening to this episode, savings rates may change, but right now in the UK, like 4% isn't that competitive. You can get a free account which pays 4.5%. And the European Union, right? If we have a quick look at Deposit Scout, we can see that there are plenty of competitive rates in the EU that you don't have to pay for. So what is compelling? Is it the subscriptions?
Yeah, it's probably the lifestyle and travel perks. Descriptions probably being one of the main arguments for Revolut Metal. So you're getting a bunch of subscriptions. I'm going to list a few in case you're listening to this. We're also going to show them on the screen if you're watching the video. Financial Times, Standard Digital, WeWork, you get a credit per month. You get Uber One, Masterclass, NordVPN Plus, Headspace, Sleep Cycle Premium, Freeletics, The Athletic, ClassPass, Perplexity Pro, Tinder Gold, and PixArt Gold. These are the subscriptions that are included. In Germany and in other markets, it varies slightly. Make sure to check your list. You can see that within the Revolut app. But the subscriptions, if you're not taking advantage of any subscriptions, in my opinion, it's probably not worth it at all.
You just said that they vary slightly in Germany. What always confuses me with these two plans is that it's $14.99 in the UK and it's cheaper in the European Union. We know that the pound is stronger than the euro, so technically it should be more in the European Union.
Absolutely. Yeah, 15 pounds, what's that in euros? Probably 16.50 or something. Yeah.
Okay, well, we know Revolut are suggesting that these subscriptions are worth roughly £2,100 in annual value. I did my own calculations. I went through them one by one just to see how much they would cost individually. I calculated about £1,600 to £1,700, Jan. So slightly lower than what Revolut are suggesting, but still, that's obviously a lot higher than what this account will cost you annually. So if you're able to use all of these subscriptions, you're going to easily get your money back in value. Big ones like WeWork, FT, NordVPN, they hold a lot of the value here. You know, realistically, right, no one's going to be able to utilize them all, but I think you've got to at least be able to use a couple of these big ones.
Yeah, exactly.
The Athletic, that doesn't hold a huge amount of value. So if you're looking at Metal because you love football and you think maybe some of the core banking features will be useful to you, that's still not really powerful enough reason to go for this account. But it's strange at this stage, Jan, to look at Revolut and think, well, the core banking features of Metal really aren't that compelling, even though I kind of consider Revolut a bank. And I'm actually being more drawn to it by the fact that I can essentially get half-price FT subscriptions, The Athletic, and my VPN.
Yeah, looking at these benefits, it's clear that it's more of a lifestyle product than an actual bank account, in my opinion. And maybe that's what it takes nowadays. You mentioned that there are plenty of free bank accounts as well that are offering great financial core benefits. Maybe in order to charge a premium, you just gotta make your bank account a lifestyle product.
But if we look again at some of these other financial benefits, Jan, there are a few more like trading and investment perks.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get 10 commission-free trades per month. Afterwards, it's 0.25% per trade. You're also getting a slightly better commodities trading fee, and then also better fees if you decide to invest into cryptocurrencies. Not that convincing to me, but if you use Revolut anyways for trading, could be quite compelling. I would probably recommend other trading apps, just due to the fact that Revolut offers a percentage-based fee and not a flat fee. So in case you invest large sums of money, could get expensive quite fast.
I don't think everyone's really aware of that. I think people look and use Revolut for trading because it's super easy, and that they don't necessarily look that deep into what it will cost you. And you see 10 fee-free trades each month and think, well, that sounds pretty good. But if you exceed that, you've got to pay 0.25% per trade, and that could begin to really mount up. I don't know a huge amount about crypto trading, Jan, but I've also read like headlines and comments on Reddit and just discussions about how Revolut's crypto fees are quite expensive. And it can be particularly difficult to withdraw your crypto at times, which can be quite costly and just not that intuitive. So there are a few things to potentially look out for. And I really don't think a premium experienced trader is looking at Revolut Metal and thinking, this is why I'm going to sign up for Metal. Again, it's a bit like the core banking features. There might be one or two things in it for you, but really just individually, these aren't enough to justify the cost of Metal alone.
Johnny, there are also 2 insurances included. Those might be worth it for some people. A travel insurance that covers trips up to 30 days. That includes medical insurance, cancellation, lost baggage, flight delay insurance. The providers and the exact benefits slightly differ by country. So whether you're in the UK or the EU, but yeah, that could be quite compelling. Set a reason to solely justify the price tag? Yeah, absolutely not. That's very clear.
Again, everything is a little bit tempting, but also not that compelling. The insurances have a couple of red flags as well to look out for. If you want to qualify, you have to have spent 75% of the trip using your Revolut card or using your Revolut account. So it has to be paid for 75%. It's strange that it's that number. I don't know why. Why isn't it just all in or not at all? Because I think most people are going to be using their Revolut card to buy their flights, to buy their hotels, not only to qualify for the insurance, but also to qualify for the Rev points. That's certainly a reason to use your card. The 30-day limit, Jan, that's a bit tight. I know Ultra has 90 days. I think for an esteemed traveler, someone who's getting out and about, is probably going to want more than 30 days. And I just don't think this is the type of insurance for that person either.
And I also believe that you have to start in your country of residence and then return to it. So you can't sign up for Revolut Metal while abroad. The 30 days limit, that's quite average, to be honest, especially among the cheaper travel insurances. But as you mentioned, it's nothing for digital nomads or frequent travelers, in my opinion.
But if you do decide that you want to give Revolut Metal a go, there are a couple of things to consider. The cancellation policy is definitely worth looking closely at. I can give you the high-level rundown, but it's always worth checking out. I'll put a link in the description box for you. But ultimately, if you do decide to sign up, this is known as a 12-month plan. So it's not a rolling plan. There is essentially a contract in place. So with most contracts, you'll have 2 weeks or 14 days to change your mind and you'll get a full refund. But if you sign up to pay monthly, then you will be charged a fee of 2 months if you attempt to cancel after those 14 days. After 10 months, you can cancel. There's no break fee. And you just have the remainder of that month to use the plan.
Pretty strict if you ask me.
I'm surprised that it's a 12-month plan and they don't allow you to have a rolling contract, even if they say increase the price by a couple of quid. It doesn't get any better if you sign up annually either. It gets worse, in fact, because if you sign up annually and change your mind, there are no refunds. There's no break fees, obviously, because they've already got your money, but there are no refunds. But I guess you do have a 14-day chance to test the account. If, though, during that period you were to get the metal card and still cancel, you'd have to pay £40 or the euro equivalent plus delivery for the card. So I have the black card here. I have the gold card and the, I think, silver. There's also a bronze one that I don't have. Now, Jan can show you what happens if you use your card as frequently as he does.
Yeah, look at this. So I'm not sure I've used it that frequently, to be honest. I typically pay with my phone. Yeah, I don't know what caused the paint to peel off, but it must have been, maybe the friction inside the wallet. I think I mentioned that on a previous episode. I walk quite a bit and I always have my card with me, so
How
maybe
tight
that
are
caused
your jeans,
the
mate?
paint to peel off. But now I feel embarrassed taking that thing out of my pocket. It's a little sad.
What about the friction inside the ATMs? Do you think that could have caused it?
Potentially, because I think it's slightly thicker than a normal ATM card. At least that's my assumption while holding them next to each other. It could absolutely be. And I've used the card quite a bit to withdraw money from ATMs. Never had it get stuck, but I heard that happened to some people. I don't know, Johnny, to be honest, but this doesn't look premium. That's a fact.
No, not when it's that worn away, but you can't argue that this doesn't look premium. The gold card does look really nice. And look,
absolutely.
If you're in it for this reason and this reason alone, just don't. I'm pretty sure you can order the metal card as a Revolut standard account holder and just pay for it.
Yeah, I think you can.
So that's no reason then to just get the metal plan. But there are some reasons. I think, look, if you're someone who's traveling frequently enough and could potentially make use of discounted lounge access, could make use of the fee-free currency exchange, the subscriptions, big thing. Like if you're traveling and you can access WeWork, if you're traveling and you want to use ClassPass, if you're traveling and you'll probably want to use NordVPN, catch up with the FT while you're waiting for your flight or waiting for your train, like that is fantastic. You just smashed the value of this plan. You're just deriving so much value. But if you're going to look at this thing, oh wow, 4% on an easy access savings account, that looks compelling. Oh, and I get some ATM. I get £800 of fee-free ATM withdrawals. That seems good. And I can see myself using some of the subscription perks. But then you entirely forget about them and use none of them. That's bad.
It's a subscription bundle. These other benefits aren't really worth it at all, at least to me. But if I was a subscriber of the Financial Times, for example, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Right? It's half the price, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Revolut Metal it's not bad value as long as you'll use the perks, particularly those subscriptions.
And if you don't even think about it. Not at all. It's not a banking product. It's also not a lifestyle product, right? It's a commodity, essentially. It solves a purpose, and that's it.
If you do currently have Revolut Metal, please just comment if you're watching us on YouTube and let us know what value you're deriving from this. Like, where are you getting the value? Like, are you using those subscription perks? Are you finding a way to make use of the ATM withdrawals? I don't know how, to be honest, but I'm sure there's someone out there that's withdrawing a lot of cash to make use of it.
I'd be also curious if you subscribe to any other Revolut plan. Which one is it, and why did you choose it in the first place? And do you think it's worth it? Just write it into the comments. Let's have a conversation there. I always find this quite insightful. And yeah, that's it, I think.
That's it. Goodbye.